Hello. Right. Hey, hey. That's on. Yo, so do we want to have, well, we've only got an hour, haven't we? We've got loads of time. Let's have a look at how the day is going. So on CL, we've been bearish. So this is how the algo's gone, right? Bearish, 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 bearish. Here, we started to get our corrective bearish. Didn't quite make it. Then moved into this one being corrective bearish. So you can see how obviously, like, if you look at the market, how the algo is defining the type of price action that you could get, right? So corrective bearish is your reversal. So if you want to know when this is going to reverse, for it to be able to reverse, we have to go out of a bearish into a corrective. So when you see that corrective fail to take the low, that's like your indication that, okay, now we're seeing that reversal. So you're not having to guess. So the algo's obviously got, it's two parts, and it's hard to explain. It's that probability of the candle, but then also the type of price action that you're currently getting. Like, it maps out the market for you. It maps out potentially what we're in. We're in a distribution bearish stage. We're in a corrective stage. So this part now, we're expecting it to correct, right? When we're expecting it to correct, potentially we're not expecting this whole thing to go. However, if we then switch from corrective to bullish, we can expect a change of trend and then continuing up higher, right? So it helps you know what sort of things, what sort of price or what's happening and what we expect to happen. So let's have a look at the daily, and let's look at our return to open on the daily, right? Okay, so there's our daily open. Here's our previous day high. So we've already taken the high and returned to the open, right? So from a daily perspective point of view, we've ticked that box. We've ticked this data. If I go up to 30-minute time frame, you can see obviously now we've got 193. That every time we took the open in the first segment, the high was a 95%, 95%, 71%. So at least we know that that's already happened. We've already taken the high and already come back to the open. So tick, tick, tick. Doesn't mean we obviously can't come all the way back, but just it's something that we don't have to worry about as a statistic that that could happen. We're now in a, where is it? Hour corrective bearish. Obviously trend AI is bearish. You see how we've not even flickered, even though we have been moving up. It's still not changed at all yet. Obviously nice transition to bearish, but clean, but not yet seeing that play out. So it'll be interesting to see when New York opens whether we get a switch of trend into a bearish. And if we look at our, let's look at our daily pullback, right? So here's our range. So let's go up time frames because it's using, that's only taken a few days. Let's bring in some more data for that, right? So here's our daily time frames, right? So if we're going to switch bearish, yeah, the gold one was great. I missed that. I was in the NQ one, got taken out at break even, but and then I was looking at gold and I was like, oh, that one went. So here's our manipulation. So these grey dots are distribution. Sorry, are pullbacks, are manipulation, whatever you want to use to call them. It's basically showing you that on all bearish candles, the average pullback, the average price went in the opposite direction before being bearish, was this, 87, right? So that level is marked on the chart. So that is showing me the opposing level. So basically, when we went bearish, this is where the average pullback was, right? And when we went bullish, this was where the average pullback was. So anyone who's been looking at the OCL indicator, it's exactly the same. It uses mean, which is exactly, I had no idea, but it's exactly what I did to build these levels. That they were doing it. So obviously what you can see is the 50% has a high probability of being hit, right? So if we're bullish, there's a 66% probability of hitting the 50%, and if we're bearish, there's a 73% probability of hitting the 50% level, right? But it gives you some of those targets around it. So these are more kind of like, this sort of zone is a potential, but then it depends on what sort of day you're having, right? So if we go on to our daily, so we've got a sequence one of a strong bullish candle at the moment. So potentially, you know, we tend to see our, unless New York flips, then we'll see that change. But otherwise, you tend to see very strong normal sort of, a lot of the time your sequence ones matching the higher time frame can be like this, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting. Be interesting to see how. Obviously, we've been on a run for a while, obviously on the daily, so it doesn't mean that it has to. But we have corrected and come back, and I'd like to, you know, if we push, then there's a good probability of us hitting around this sort of level. The only problem is the last few days are distorting the volume because they've been obviously so high. Sorry, the volume candles have been high, but that doesn't matter. We'll see. How's everyone getting on? We've got a couple I've seen, obviously we've had a gold trade, which is great. Congratulations on that. That's a fantastic result. I think if the day is going to flip, we need to see the 1 hour, right? We need to see the 1 hour flip. We're going to have that push. We're corrective bearish at the moment, right? We want to see sequence one, bullish, high time frame bullish. That's going to be a potentially good entry, because if we're in, like, if the daily's a sequence one and then the 1 hour gives us a sequence one, we could get a really good push, really good push. But we want to always see our hourly come in line, right? So that could be good. We've got just over an hour. See what gold are up to. Oh yes, look at that. So that was so let's have a look. We've got a lazy boy set up here, right? On that one, I'm pretty sure. So we've got a buy signal there. Yeah. So 71% probability, strong bullish, bang bang, see you later. And obviously that played out nicely. I mean, that pretty much matches every setup, right? It matches matches everything that we're looking for. It's great. Let's have a look at gold. Just want to check. That's why it's winding me up. It's on the wrong one. I had it on the 1 minute. Fucking confusing me. There we go. 88. Let's go. This has been a very, very bullish run. At 10 sequences. That's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So there's the start, right? Transition, bullish, with the higher time frame, messes around, and now we're seeing that go. Nice. YM is bearish. Yeah. Yeah. Very bearish. Oh, that's a nice trade. Look at that, just bending round. Red signal. Short. Everything turns red. It's just... We've got crude light on there. No. Oh, sorry, have I gone on crude light? Why is that... if I was on YM? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's nice. How are you finding things anyway now that obviously have a little bit more time on the with some of the indicators, it all coming starting to make sense and finding some confluences with it, repeatable patterns, things like that. Oh, strong bearish on ES as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, so obviously that would have been a trade played out. So obviously we've taken the low now. Potentially we might return to that open. We'll see. Not in this hour. Yeah, we've got 15 minutes. Could still do it. Let's see what NQ does. Corrective bearish. Lovely. Now I'm trying to find that balance of helping people, but then not influencing existing strategies and letting people use it to find their own confluences, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to be able to be like, if you've got your own stuff, not to be influenced too much by what how I trade it and other stuff, more about taking the confluences for yourself. So that's great, Mark. That is great. Oh, I need to put some music on. We're videoing in silence. Let's get something on. just going to swap out my stats now. I don't want them. Hours. Not taking that low. Could see a pop off. Not yet changed. Or it could be a slight. We'll see. I'm just going to change my YM setup. I like to trade it on the New York trading hours. I mean, it's not a huge... $41, $33, $39, $42. $39, $33. Alright, we'll leave it in electronic. Let's leave it in electronic. But I'll keep the late signals on as well. And I'll just change that back to red. And I'll highlight half an hour. Okay, we'll leave YM like that. So obviously we've had a look at the daily. Daily could give us an indication of a very bullish day. If we look at our daily statistics, I need to show them. Let's go into our daily statistics. Hang on a second. Ooh. Right. We're using the daily. And let's go back. Let's get as much data. Okay, so we've got 100 bullish days, 70 bearish days. Probably go up to 30 minutes. Just hide that for now. Okay, we've got 211 days, 160. So if we're expecting bullish, our low, segment 4 and 5. I have to do this manually for the daily. Let's just make it a little bit. And then we can have a look at where the segments are on the daily, roughly. So we're coming into the last two segments of the day. We've only got a 41% probability that this is our low. I'm going to have to, let me just adjust this so you can see it. Apologies guys, let me just change the screen. That's better. So we've got a 41% probability. So if we're bullish, let's look at our bullish probabilities, right? We've got a 41% probability that our low is in. There's our data. But look at our highs. 97% probability of higher price action if we're going to be bullish. 97%. Whew. So here's our bullish price. So here's our average line, right? Here's our first level between manipulation and distribution, right? So if we're going to be bullish, we can see there's a 67% probability. Let me zoom back into the stats. So our bullish hit 50%. There's a 67% probability on a bullish day that we hit our level here. And then there's a 26% probability of hitting this level. So this is your kind of like high probability targets for the daily, and then overextended, if you like, as we start heading up towards this. Is your distribution level. So obviously if we're going to go bearish, this is kind of like your average pullback area. And then we have our distribution to the downside, right? What have I done? So if we're going to go bearish, we've got a 46% probability this is our high. Obviously, and still more, plenty more option for the downside. We've already obviously taken the high the previous day and come back to the open. So, you know, we've done that. Tick, tick. Done it. Here, I think it was our open came down below. We're on a sequence 1 for the daily. Sequence 1s a lot of the time end up low in the first segment, high in the last segment. Let's get back to our hourly. Looks like we've not been able to push up. Nice and corrective. Will we see this break down? It's quite a large channel. We'll see. Couple of vips. CL's come above. Starting to weaken on the bearish trend. If we can see a transition on CL, we might see some good good price action. So our 4 hour, let's go down to the hourly. Nice run from gold. Nice trade. Nice trade here. 2 good trades on gold. We are right at the end of the sequence. We're in sequence 10. And you can see there's been 46 times that we've had a sequence 10 at this level. Not a huge amount. Ugh. Maybe we'll get that sequence 1 corrective shortly. If YM takes this high, and maybe we'll see that potential turnaround on YM as well. Otherwise, we're very bearish. Everything's bearish. CL's obviously just taken the previous candle high. We failed to take the low. Yeah. Nice switch. All through this, obviously, taking lows. Any fib traders, here's your low, here's your high, potential retracement, continuation. Higher time frame is still bearish. YM's obviously gone under the 0 line. Give me a second. Yeah. Let's re-add the algo. Sure if I've updated it. That's better. Had the one from yesterday on. We are bullish in a sequence 1. Sorry, we have a bearish sequence 1 on ES. Let's see if we start going down, coming up now for our New York Open. Very interesting day with the daily. Right now showing a sequence 1. I'm very interested to see how, obviously, New York can change that dramatically. That's why when you look at the daily stats, New York time can have a high significance for the high and low. And rightly so. Obviously, it is New York stocks. Is the buy and sell signals derived from those probabilities on the bottom of the screen? The buy and sell signals are derived from these probabilities here. This is a separate algo, so they're 2 separate confluences. So this is giving you the statistical high and low of a candle. Hourly, daily, minutes, however you want to select, right? The buy and sell signals are based on an hour. But so, for example, here, if we replay it to this, right, you had a 79% probability that our low is in. Yeah, so we're looking at bullish because we've got to buy. 79% our low is in, and 85% probability our high is still yet to come. Our algo was showing that we're corrective bearish. So it's predicting what is the probability of being bearish. There was only a 2%, which means we had a 97% probability of that hour being bullish. Our dynamic TP is up and green and above the 0 line, so very nice. Confluence for that trade to play out. And here we are. Let's go back on the camera. Our daily is predicting a bullish day. Right now, we've got 2 segments left for the day. Obviously, a big important part though is New York. When that opens, can obviously have a large impact. It's not Heikin-Ashi. That is just on dynamic TP, mate. You just go into style and you can just turn on bar color. And all it does for you is it just highlights what the current trend of this is. That's all. No worries. So we're looking for high probability setups, right? Ideally, we want to see what depends on what it is and how you trade, right? So if you're trading a reversal, then you don't want to be trading a strong sequence, because obviously a strong sequence is showing you it's more likely to carry on in that direction, as where if you're trading a opposing, you know, like a bullish, you know, you've got a 50% probability, 40% it's corrective, and you're getting a push in a certain direction where you take a high, then those ones are more likely to return to the mean, right? They're more likely to revert back to the open because of the type of candle they are. So you can use the indicator any way that you trade. If you're a trend trader and looking for a strong push in price and a strong trend, then you want to be trading obviously like high sequences above 70%. Ideally, obviously like bullish and bearish ones. Corrective ones can get you a good push, like we've just seen on CL, right? Corrective and a push. So, but they're not more. It's not so much a continuation, right? It's more of an hour, a corrective hour, a corrective push, and then we might come back in line. As where with when you get a bearish trend, it's more likely that you're going to see that continuation, right? For a while until you see it change. Dang, again, I just closed my gold. Super painful. There we go with gold. We can see obviously nice strong trend, and we get that nice push. Nice push up. We get that push in the direction. Obviously, we're corrective bearish, which means there's more probability of it going up, right? Might just slow that music down. It's a little bit going at it. Not ready for a night out. Okay, we got 20 minutes till the open. Sequence 1 on the daily, bullish. What if New York pumps? What if? What if? Or we get a sweep of the lows, possibly, but we have already come back to the open. Let's have a look. Oof. If the Owlie can switch to a bullish sequence 1, it could go fucking nuts. Sorry for my language. Man, that would be... I don't think it will. I think it's more likely to have some up and then down. But, I mean, if it did flip it, if it did end up transitioning, we've got a very strong trend. We've got a very strong... We're still... Remember, this is still above 70% of all kind of bearishness. But then we're pushing so strong through it, you know. Maybe, you know, that's a kind of good example of, like, we've been pushing up through all this bearish pressure. We get an early buy signal as well for the hour. So right now we've got a 61% probability of our low being in. Let's put that on the chart. Let's go old school. So that early buy signal gives us that confirmation. 94% probability of more price action, more higher highs. Current indication is we have a slight advantage or a bullish advantage this hour as an initial. Our algo is also confirming that we're expecting more of a bullish hour. We've just taken the high, right? And let's have a look at our open data. Our return to open data. This could be interesting. Might get a trade off this. So, we took the high in segment 1. Right, we took the high in segment 1, which is in the first 10 minutes. And when we take the high in segment 1, your prediction is saying the high is 100%. We go through this, Pickles, don't we? Are you ready? You on hours? 1 hour. Six segments. Same settings. And then the next thing, it is the same settings, is are you on the 1 minute chart? Because otherwise everything's in the first segment, right? Right, so right now we've got a 75% probability of returning to this open. We've got a 61% probability that this is our low. Or are you talking about this? Again, I'm on the hour, 6 seconds. I'm always patient with you, buddy. Don't worry about it. It's my favourite thing. Right. So we've got our return to the open, yeah? So here's our open. Here's our probability low. Here's our probability of a new high. Right? So we've got a 75% probability because we took the high of the previous hour to return to the open. So let me just move my trading window. So I've got the trades up on this one and not on the other one. Won't be 2 seconds. I'll move you to the nice stream starting image while I just log in. Log out of that one. Where the fucking hell is it? Log out. And then log in. Okay. That's back. Why have I gone in replay? I don't know. What do you reckon? Might just go. Could New York come down and wick it? What do you reckon? Got 14 contracts on that. Let's just do 7. Go on. Go on, go on, go on. I think if New York's going to come down, it's going to be... Let's put the VIBs on. We could use these VIBs. Potentially. If we take this high, we're not yet in sequence 2. We're 16 minutes in, right? But that probability is going to be about 70% already, I reckon. Let's just so we're going to 6 minute segments, right? 6, 12, 18. So we've got 1 more minute. So now's the 18th candle, right? So if we take that high, that increases the probability to 66%. Did we take the high? Did you just... Let me just zoom in on my old eyes. Hang on. Do you know what? I just need to put that bloody thing back on where I can just see the high of the candle at the top of the chart. Equal. I'm on Tradeovate. I know because I used... What was I using? I was using NinjaTrader for my prop firms because I used the copy trader. CL gone into a sequence 1. Remember we were talking about for CL, but obviously when I started live streaming, it became I wanted it all on the one screen so you could see the indicators. So I just set up another account and got a TradingView account. So I've just connected Tradeovate to this, which we're not doing too bad. We are 600 up this week. Should have been more, but I had one where bloody contracts were wrong. I only made like $60. That increases our probability. T-Bone's had a nice payout. He's just requested a payout. Although they're currently fighting him, saying he's using a VPS, which he's not. But we'll, so he'll have to fight that. But otherwise, another nice payout. I will go on another 20 account Apex run. I've been that busy the last 5 months doing all of this that he's not here, and yeah, he is. Yeah, he's not on stream today, but yes, he is. T-Bone trades same as me. Since I taught him. He's my Padawan. At 7. Yeah, I got BE'd. This one. My BE. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I could have just carried on and it'd have been fine another one, but I'm trying to follow the rules like I've given for everyone who's got free TradingView. I am going to add in the advanced rules because obviously I do like to have more confluences, which I would do when I'm trading. But for everyone who doesn't have trading premium, I wanted to keep it as simple as possible with just 2 indicators. So right now, this is not a lazy boy trade, and the reason why it is not a lazy boy trade is because our prediction is below 70%, right? It needs to be above 33% on our correctiveness to be able to take that trade. Although, CL's gone back bearish again, so it would be a trade on CL. We would be taking that short. My God, can I keep up with myself? What do you reckon? Yeah, kind of from the back testing, going break even on like the 59th minute candle or the end of the 59th minute candle. There's obviously, it takes off some winners, but it also makes a big difference for some losses as well. So it's worth doing. Obviously, you can then make your own decisions if you want to leave it. You can leave it. Right, I want to look at NQ. And now I've removed my NQ chart. Let's look at ES then. Alerts. No. See, I've got CL here, so I can keep an eye on CL there. See, we've just wicked this low. It'd be nice to go through that low. We took the low of the previous candle, which I like. If we now reverse, then that's a good indication for some bullishness. We really want to come under this zero line. Like we come under here. We love that. That's not looking very good. Might get smashed. Might get smashed. Right now, if we are going to be bearish, obviously we've had the two initial signals. Could have potentially taken this one. But our high in, there's an 80% probability right now that that our high's in, right? So I'm happy to take the trade. Happy to lose. I do need to come back and manage it. I'm going to put this back on NQ. We know obviously where we are. I'll put it on CL. But I just want to see NQ. As I mainly trade NQ. And we got 5 minutes until the New York Open, right? So obviously New York is... I don't normally trade New York Open, right? Yeah, it's high probability of an area to get to. It's 70%. Obviously you can see the percentages on the screen. The dark red line is normally about 27-30%, so it's much less likely for it to get to that specific target. Also, obviously, then you can filter by days and filter by hours, so those levels are even more accurate for you as well. So it's not just every last sort of candle. But yeah, they are based on a statistical level, right? So 50%, you can see on this hour, 68% probability of hitting this level. And obviously 56% probability of a bearish hitting the low. The mean retracement, so these are the, if we're going to go bullish, what's the probability? They come in at about 40%. I've just been trying to look at adding that in so that you can see the statistical probability of the manipulation level of how likely price is. Now, what I would say is, from everything that I've watched, Herman, is that this is all about the type of candle rather than just the generic. And the issue that I have at the moment with what I've watched and what I've seen is that it's generic and it's not specific to the type of candle you've got. So, for example, if we get a sequence 1, you do not get much distribution. It is less likely to get manipulation. So that layout of manipulation, it's less likely to get manipulation. It's more likely just to kind of stay very bullish or give a very small pullback before going. And you tend to just get those sort of distribution levels. Corrective ones are where you can often get more of that sort of, we come down as if we're going to go towards the level, towards continuation, and then flip and go the other way and get quite high, quite strong price action. So I think kind of once we get to the point where we're defining the levels based off the type of price action, they'll be even better. So instead of it just being generic on every bullish and every bearish candle or that specific time of day, I think when they're then based, because even on that specific time of the day, it's like, what type of day are we going to have? We're going to have a very bullish day typically, you know, like, so we're just defining it on an average of what an average day looks like. And I think long term, which is my goal, is it not just to be an average of everything, it's an average of a specific market type, right? So basically what a lot of them are trading is this kind of manipulation, distribution, right? Now that's fine, but most of the time, when you get a sequence 1 or a bullishness, it's that sort of trend. So you don't get that manipulation. When you're in more corrective, you can get more of those sort of ones. When you're in corrective bullish, like a sequence 1, those are the ones that kind of happen. Is it? Ooh, nice. Well, I'm glad it's helping. I think I've just been smashed. Let's have a look. Let me just put this off. Yeah. So we can see there, as we're coming in, we've taken the high. Broke my first rule. I traded before New York. I don't trade before New York. So CL started to go bullish. That'll be interesting. Here we go. Now we start seeing that trend weaken. Remember, we got a sequence 1 on the daily. When we looked at the daily levels, we looked obviously on the full day. We're currently on a sequence 1. We've gone through 4. We're in our 4th segment, or we've got 2 more segments left, with still very high probability on the daily that we're going to put in further highs in the last segments of the day. So obviously, potentially from having a sequence 1 on the daily, we could have a very bullish day. So obviously we were waiting for New York to show us that potential. And let's just go into our daily stats. And you can see now we've gone into this segment, we have a 62% probability of our low being in for the day. And then we have a, we've still got all of our data yet to come on the highs. If I go down 6 segments, it'll shorten it up for you. That's because I need to go up time frames. My apologies for the daily. There we go. Need to have more data for the daily. That's better. So based off of the... oh, my segments have gone funny. What have I done? Days. January. What have I done? What have I broken? What did I break? Oh, for God's sake. I'm looking at return to open. Stupid. Let's go onto the daily. Sorry about that. Fucking idiot. Let's go back up to the 30-minute. So we can see our dailies on a sequence 1, right? High probability of bullish. Here we can see our data, right? So right now there's still a 97% probability that we still have more chance of putting in our highs, right? But a 41% probability our low is in. So we still haven't got huge probability in our favour. So let's just get more accurate and put it on the 10-minute. So we've got a 47% probability that our low is in. Right? So we're still not in our advantage that the low is in. We've got a high probability that what type of sort of day we've got with the higher time frame. So payday setup, if you like, on the daily. So yeah, let's see if the hourly can carry on bullish. If the hourly can flip into a sequence 1 as well, then we could have a great bullish day. We could have a great bullish day. Back down to the minute because we're on the hourly. View 1. So obviously New York respecting our probability. We did not come back to the open. We're only just past halfway. I really want to see us change the hourly to match. We need to see that trend weakening. Fuck you, CL. That's why I don't know why I traded just before New York Open. I just don't like doing it because of the manipulation bit. But I did it. I know that in my rule. Why have I not put that in the Lazy Boy rule? I need to update that. Don't trade New York hour. It's the only time I get annoyed with myself when I don't forget to just follow a simple, basic rule. Beep, 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 beep. So we're starting to weaken on the trend. If we can see a weak trend starting to appear, transition, getting close. Oh, come on. Honestly, one of those bullish days where we just go and go and go and go and go. NQ's given us a better indication than MNQ that this trend is weakening sooner. So I'm going to stick on NQ rather than MNQ. You can see obviously it starts happening here. We start getting that weakening of the trend here. Let's have a little look. Look at our 2 hour. Oof. Let us see. Where does the 2 hour start? Where's our 2 hour start? Ah, okay. Well, that could have given us a little bit of heads up. If I'll remember that next time. So our 2 hour is in a sequence 1. And obviously our 2 hour started here. So when we took this high at the beginning of this hour, that would have given us a good probability of this being our low and expecting that high at the end. Can't keep with them up. Keep up with them all. Right, we've got 20 minutes until the new hour. If we can carry on going like this, we have a good chance of getting into a sequence 1. Yeah, so what it's showing you right now is that we are in a bearish trend, but the volume of the bearish trend is what percentage that volume currently sits compared to previous, right? So so what it's showing you is that we switched bearish, but our higher time frame's bullish, right? So we switched bearish. So we've gone on this run. So we've gone corrective. Now, sometimes you can still, when the markets are very strong, they can continue to push through these kind of things. But it's basically showing you that on the bearish volume, while it's like this, that we are expecting more bearish action. Now we start getting our transition. But the volume is still above 70%, right? So before we can even go flip back into that kind of higher time frame trend continuation, the volume's got to go. It's got to get lower than the previous percentage of volume, right? So this is showing you that right now it's 70%. It's between 40 and 70%. Okay, now we're getting to the point where we could get a bearish flip. We get our bearish flip, but obviously price continues, this is the only real time it's been this much push like this. Most of the time they're almost, like there, look, you flip, you go bullish, bang, or you flip, you go bearish because of the manipulation, and then you go straight away. So this push has been exceptionally strong, and obviously that was a beautiful transition. Exceptionally strong. But then obviously on the daily we can go in it and look at it. We're in a sequence 1, right? So what it's giving you is your current like bias and like compared volume against previous times. So it's looking at it different in the sense of if price pushes up, then bullish volume pushes up as well, right? And when bullish volume pushes up, we go into bullish volume. So like today, obviously like with being a day of a sequence 1, like these are where certain, like, obviously I haven't got the exact stats yet, it's just from the back testing that I've done. And when I don't like to kind of, once we have the exact stats, then I prefer to kind of talk about it because it's based on actual figures we can see, right? But it gives you an indication to then go and hunt to create the stats. And from what I can see at the moment, when you get like a sequence 1 and a 2 and a high probability ones, like the hourly play out it's probably even more high probability of getting the low in the first 2 segments, and even more high probability of getting the high in the last 2 segments, because they are predominantly more bullish candles, right? And they are predominantly more of a push, and therefore to create that we've got to go through the hour. So when you have a day like today, it's, if we're in a sequence 1, doesn't have to do it all the time, but for me the probability when we do get these percentage would show that we are more likely to have one of those days, right, where we just go, and you don't want to be looking for pullbacks, and you don't want to be trading the reversals and the returns, and because today's telling you this could be one of those days we just go. And they're the days that if you are trading that you get smashed on, right? If you are trading that type of strategy, you can get smashed on because you're always trying to play, the majority of the time we return, and the majority of the time we turn, and then it doesn't. Now, as long as obviously there's ways around that with good risk management and rules. X number of losses, stop trading, and then your losing days don't equate to your winning days, but that's why I love the algo so much, because it's about defining the market conditions. It's not just about predicting the outcome, it's about defining the market conditions, which I love. Last 15 minutes, we still have a 59% probability of a new high. Yep. You should have seen the signals the other day. You literally, like, it was a perfect day. Obviously we used multiple confluences, but they just nailed it. Just absolutely nailed it. It was crazy. Gold still going. Still got an 82% probability. So we're still good at taking this trade. Yes. YM. Had our manipulation. Obviously, you had a nice drop down here. We're still bearish on YM. Let's see whether we can flip now. Still taking lows. This is Euro USD on daily. I was just looking at our daily sort of manipulation levels, right? There's our nice flip. Our trend AI is blue. It's just turned bullish, so we're expecting bullish price action. It's a nice flip. Some beautiful signals as well on Euro, especially that one. That was nice. Got a lot after that, and that one. That was very nice. I like that as well. So the 1 hour, let's have a look what the prediction was. See whether we would have traded it. So there. Yep, we had a corrective bearish, so we had a 97% probability we were expecting price to go up. We're blue, we're above. It's a lovely trade. Oh, it's still Nasdaq. You dickhead, Andy. You dickhead. There we go, it's a sequence 1. You're still taking the trade. 90% probability being bullish. Bish bash bosh. So 42% probability our high goes. Are we going to transition into a sequence 1? Try and take a sneak peek. I don't think it's going to be yet. Got 10 minutes. We can push up some more. If we can close above this high, then we might have a chance. We're on our 3rd corrective phase, right? So it's not that we're going to get a sequence 1 corrective. We're already currently corrective. That means that the next probability of reversing is not going to be super high. It's going to go more towards the middle, right? So if we're looking at the next hour, what can we go to? We can go to a sequence 4. Hang on. I've changed something. I'll fix it. There we go. Can see more of the algo. Perfect. Lock that in. Hello. There we go. Everything was messed up. I don't know why. Everything's just messed up at the moment. Having a rough couple of days. Move. So we're corrective, bullish. Sequence 3. Corrective, bearish. Sequence 3. So the next hour if we carry on in a corrective, is a 39% probability. So we're getting back to that 50-50, like not much in that favor. So like a reversal point now, it's not a great reversal point, right? We want to see it flip bullish, and then if it was going to reverse, then we get back into a sequence 1 corrective. Then maybe, yeah. That makes sense? Because obviously we carry on. If we're going to carry on in the same sequence, we're either going to go into a sequence 2, into a continuation. So we've got two options. We either go from corrective to bullish or corrective to bearish. When we change to corrective to bearish, we go to a sequence 1 corrective bearish, 90% probability of being bearish, great trade. If we're going to carry on bullish, we can transition into a sequence 1 bullish, great trade. We just got to wait. And see this transition. Gold gets at new high in the last segment. Go gold. Yes, puts its high in the last segment. Perfect candle. NQ hasn't. So obviously if I wanted to get more specific with my my target lines here, right? I can put it into a specific hour. Now the hours currently, is it still 8? There we go. So now I'm only showing from 8 till 4. We just show like New York time, right? New York Open. So this is giving you now all the kind of afternoon, the New York time, and then obviously we can go down to there, which just shows you the New York Open hour, right? So you can see how the target jumped because we added in just, that's the first 2 hours. But as we start adding in the lesser hours, it drops because obviously the volume drops. So we can get very specific around the first 2 hours. We get a perfect distribution. So this is a great little add-on for you. You know, obviously that if you want to be specific around New York Open or around any Open, I would utilize this because obviously it's such a different hour to every other hour of the day, and just capture the first sort of couple of hours, 8 till 10. Then obviously we can just tick that off. Anytime you want to use it, we can just add it on. But look at the difference, right? Taking all hours, just New York. Yeah. Our high probability target, which is like 70%, well, if we have a look at that. So we can see just using those the New York Open time, just looking at that specific period, you can see that the 50%, that green line, has a 73% hit rate, and only 26% went to there. Now we can increase our number of candles, right? Let's go up to 10 minutes. And now it's based off of 228, and you can see that 160 made it, 24 only made it there. We can also see our distribution around that high, so you can see that segment 1 drops to 44%, 15%. Our highs still very good at putting in our highs at the end. You know, over 60% probability in the last 2 segments of getting our highs for during this period. So I hope that gives you kind of like, there we go, we get our high in the last quarter. Yes. I'm on it. I've got, obviously I'm trying to keep up with, there's a lot of stuff, and I'm trying not to make too many changes because, as you saw with the algo, we caused an issue at that point, and but being able to change the colours and the look and feel of it is something that obviously makes sense to do. So yeah, absolutely. I'm still working on, I've got a couple of other things to do as well. Okay, so we get our new hour. Sequence 1. Woo! T-Bone's always telling me to calm down. Can't just stop. Stop it. Now, it's on a knife edge. It only just started transitioning. So obviously we want to see a little bit more confluence come for us for this continuation. We've had a very, very large push up. We'll see. Let me drink the water. Just going to leave this on for the first couple of hours. Let's see if we can get our trade. They always end up being about like another 2-3 hours. Seems to be like we have to wait it out, and then 2-3 hours we get that trade, or just before. I used to trade the hour before New York Open all the time, so I trade from here 1:30 well, that's my time, from 8:30 to 9:25. It was my New York power hour. Get a lot of clean price action. So see now that, because we've kind of just had that big push up, we're just starting to transition. We need to see like hourly stats confirm direction as well on this. We are coming down to our manipulation level. We've taken the high of the hour. We've taken the high of the hour already. Yes, we've taken the high of the hour already. Yeah, I just can't wait to be able to get a development team in on top right. I just cannot wait to be able to have a development team in, so that obviously, because right now obviously I'm doing everything. It'd be just, I just can't wait to have that people in to be able to kind of keep them constantly just focused on improvement, quality of service, and making everything better. That's the dream. Good push up. Let's have a look how our others have started off. So gold, we're still sequence 10 in, right? We've just been blobbing along with gold for ages. ES hasn't gone into a sequence 1. Still corrective. CL, still corrective. YM, 50-50. Nothing really exciting going on. Euro USD, we're in a sequence 2. Let's have a look. It'd be interesting to see, obviously we've had this large move down, whether the hourly now starts flipping bullish. Obviously the higher time frame is still bearish, right? This is a very large move down, and we've had all this time, and we've only just taken this high. Just up at this one now. So yeah, we'll see. Obviously this is our daily levels just laid out. Obviously ideally we want to be up on the higher time frames to get a more accurate daily level. There we go. Nice manipulation level. Distribution. Keep an eye on that. Right, we're 6 minutes in, which means on we've had on 10 segments we've had our first segment completing. So already is that so low? What have I done? Oh, I know why. My apologies. It's better. There we go. That's updated. So 217 candles. Had it filtered to the last 2 hours, which was why there was less. And I was like, what's going on? But 47% probability that our low is already in. So we haven't got an exact advantage yet, yeah? So on the 12th minute, we'll get these two segments together. Now that does give us a nice early indication by the 12th minute of potential directional bias, right? So if we're bullish, it's going to give us over a 60% probability. If we're bearish, it's going to give us 55% probability. So, and obviously we can just go up to the 6 minutes and we'll get as much data as we can on 10 segments on the hourly. So yeah, 60%, slightly higher with more data on the bearish side, takes us to 58%. So yeah, if we can, we've got 3 more minutes, gives us an early indication of bias. It's a good question. No, I haven't yet spent. It is one of my projects because obviously what I want to do is create a crypto side of Max Algo for spot trading. So I want to create a higher time frame hold and sell. I'm fairly confident that we can that I can do it. I mean, Bitcoin, we had a beautiful transition on the daily levels right at the beginning before we kind of caught the bottom, not the exact bottom, but the point of where we kind of bottomed out and then started to go. Payday, but using the daily instead of the hourly. Yeah. Obviously last week, was it last week, we had a sequence 1 on Bitcoin. So that was obviously great. I haven't checked Bitcoin this week, but we are now in the 11th minute. I am going to try and catch a trade this hour. See if we can pull something. So if we take that high now on the next candle, I've got a 60% probability that that's my low. Yes. Yes. God, I'm trying to remember. some of the stuff I used to look at in the last run. Yeah. Yeah. Linear curve. Yeah, I do think obviously, like you say, like so the current, it's all down to the current outcome of the election that's causing the markets to go as they are, which is why I think kind of I haven't tried to overthink being too high or too extended. So there's our early buy signal. So we are right now looking at a 66% probability that is our low, right? So we've got a 66% probability that's our low, and we've still got a 94% probability that that's our high. So, and we're on a sequence 1. No. I am early. I'm early to the party within the signals, but with us being a sequence 1, with us starting to transition, so this is already, it's green, so it's already on the bullish side. With the daily being a sequence 1, I'll give it a go. So 12, 18 minutes gives us our additional segment. Obviously, if we take that low, then we are then more in favour of the bearish price action, right? Shame we didn't close above. Might be short and sweet. We haven't got a huge probability on our favour, right? 66%. I do like to be above 70%. If you think about it, there's still a 33% probability the low goes. Still quite high. Oh, come on. We close this candle now. There we go. We got 76%. The 50% would have been a nice entry. It is early indicator, an early indicator. I don't often, as you know, I don't often have the early ones on. I like to wait for the main signals. Obviously off that VIB. Can see here. Potentially better entry. I want to see us come up and close above these. We need to get up and out. We've obviously come up a very, very long way. Not trying to think about that too much. I'm just trying to think about this current hour. I swear to God, my little boy has changed my Face ID. It no longer unlocks my phone. I reckon he switched it with his phone. With his face, not mine. Getting bullish VIBs opening up. Remember, if we are bullish, we have a 70% probability of this level kind of getting hit. So a good, still good opportunity for higher price action. Still good opportunity that we could go higher, but we haven't had our main signal. And we are now coming back. We don't want to see us close below. Oh, it's not on the low. My apologies. Let's put our price label on. It'd be nicer if it was price range. What does that do? Rubbish. It just gives us our price labels on here. I'll leave them on. So 18, 24 minutes, we've got 10 segments on. I'm just going to hide those segments. We've got 10 segments on, right? So let's put this at the top. So we can get to 24 minutes, we'll get a new update. It isn't looking great, but that's all right. Good morning. No, Alexander, I broke 2 rules today. I broke 2 rules. I traded before the open, which I don't do. It's a really easy rule. I just forgot. And yeah, and we are in an early signal. At the time, we had a 67% probability our low was in with a sequence 1. Normally, I like to try and get a retracement. I went in a little early. And looks like I'll take my punishment for doing so. Didn't wait for my normal buy signal. Yeah, I know. We're using 10 segments on our data, which is 6-minute segments. So we're currently looking at, obviously, the probability based on those segments. So obviously our early indication, that's where we got our probability. We'd already taken the high and returned to the open. We're now going red. Let's see if we can go, NQ. We're trading with probability, so we're not right all the time, but we just want to be taking those high probability setups. We have got a daily sequence 1. So we've got a bullish day, sequence 1. So when we, before New York, we were saying if New York opens and gives us that push, then we've still got good probability, right? So if we switch to our daily, we've still got 97% probability of more highs or more lows. We don't have huge probability that the daily high and low is in. Aye, aye. $50.50 on our daily low. Whoop, whoop. Right, we've gained an extra percent. So the way I'm trying to showcase some of the entry systems we use, like the Lazy Boy one, obviously that we've back tested and introduced. My main entry that I like to take are I like it when we first crossing over, so I like to see a crossover, that first crossover, going into a sequence 1 or 2, that kind of beginning of the sequence, and then high probability, everything aligning, and off we go. I don't like to trade too far in the trend. I also like to trade the beginning, like once we've transitioned, because sometimes you can get a lot of fucking around at the beginning of the transition. So I like to trade that sort of first transition, like on gold here, right? See here, we get the transition, but we get the fucking around, we get the messing around, and then the trend comes. Yeah. So they're the kind of, I like to trade them. These ones are ideal for me. I love these shorts. These, look, we just come up, we just come under, sell signal, sequence 1, bang, see you later. Same thing here, right? Just coming under, bang, see you later. I much prefer shorting than I do longing. I am a shorting kind of guy. So yeah, they're my kind of, if I was to say what my setups are, what my main entry, they're my main entries. That's what I mostly trade. Obviously T's going to be trading and doing more of the lazy boys, but just wanted to showcase that kind of showcasing it on the lives as well. I like trading VIBs as well. So sometimes when I'm really kind of zoning in, you'll see me trying to catch tight entry. Not so much on NQ, more on CL and ES because of the tick size. But yeah, I'll kind of try and catch like a retracement into a VIB and then go. So obviously we can see that level here, right? We need to push out of these. We need to get up and out. We back on the hourly? Yeah. We should get another update soon. So obviously we haven't had our normal signal, right? So this section, this is where we'd be looking for that normal signal, and those are the ones there. That's where like I look to kind of get. That's where I've got my full confidence that the data's matching. The early ones are, it's a good indication, right? It's an early indication. It is exactly what it is. But the normal ones, it's where I've really got the confidence. That's where I'm really confident that this data is matching. I've got high probability, and then all my other stuff's matching as well, right? Today, probably it's more like kind of the daily probably having an impact in my head as well. I've been waiting for that sequence one. That if that hour flipped it to a sequence one, we could have a good push. I don't have Saturday and Sunday. Oh, well, obviously they don't have them on NQ anyway, but if I change it to 6, which is kind of like the standard, just move my table back down. There you go. We need to get above these. We need to break through. Obviously, as time goes on, our probability goes up. But we need to still break through. We are starting to head into where, obviously, when we want to see price action, those last two segments, we get towards those last two segments where sometimes, obviously, we can get that movement of price, but it's not looking good. But that doesn't matter about what it looks like or what I think. What matters is the statistical probability. Trading and then managing the outcome, right? Managing the trade. So right now, you know, being a red, the fact that we've changed red, I could look to reduce risk. I could take half a position off. I could exit the trade now and not take a full loss, right? So that's like my first indication that potentially things aren't going, particularly in my order. What I'm trying to do is showcase kind of like the PDF following that process right now. So I'm waiting for my 59th minute candle, going break even, that type of thing. Or I'm just taking my loss on the chin. Obviously when we came up here and we've not been able to get through, this has held it, right? So right now, no good. I mean, didn't get our signal. That's me not waiting for the main signal. I'm going early. There's our stop. We got half an hour. See whether we end up with a full transition. See if we can actually flip that, close that hour in a sequence one. Right now we're back to corrective bearish. Interested to see whether we want to see that flip. Want to see it close. Yes, obviously he's giving the signal. It's been that way for me, really. Gold still motoring. YM's coming up to zero line now, so we might see YM start to push as well. $15 is getting down towards that zero line. If the 15-second comes under, then potentially we don't want to see that, right? You can see that we haven't been able to complete the transition. We've gone yellow, but obviously we are still now between orange and yellow. It'd be interesting. We obviously still expecting price action. But let's see. Might just be a bit unlucky, yeah. Feels that way now. Now we're running off to target. So in our last two segments, we expect this push, right? And now we're going through those VIBs. It's just been one of those days. You little fucker. Ah. You little fucker. Yeah, NQ doing NQ shit, yeah. I know sometimes I trade ES and I'm like, why do I trade NQ? NQ and doing what we want. Sorry, ES. Doing what we want. Fucker NQ. So obviously for us to close bullish, let's just have a look. So there's our open, right? So for us to close bullish, we need to close above that area. And then obviously closing below is bearish. I am. We've still got 20 minutes. And obviously if we're going to take that high, now's the point where we take that high. 15-second has... Oh, gone back bearish again. Should have really looked out before it went. Go on. Flip back up and flip bullish again. I want to see that 15-second go back bullish. Although this looks very corrective down. But this will be the last trade of the day for me. So one of the reasons for taking the entry here is obviously our open is here. So if we are going to close bullish, which is 95%, right? Where we're currently flipping between. But if we are going to close bullish, then we'll be above that line. So even if it doesn't hit my target, I've got a chance of getting out break even. Once we take the high, I'll go break even. Taking your risk off. When I say once, if we break the high, I'll go break even. "15-second needs to flip. We need the 15 seconds to come back above, otherwise... That'll be that. $43 minutes in. I want to see this drive and hold. Really, I don't want to see any more messing around downside. We've got to go. Starting to see some blue. Transition. We've got 15 minutes yet. Thinking about playing it longer and chasing the lows. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. We need to get above this high, really. Don't want to see us come back. 45 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 more candles. I'd love to see that continued push at the end. Taking that high, gonna put my stop at break even. Do I think it's gonna go mad? Yes. Could it go really high? Maybe. Do I want to take my profit, or do I want to try and play out to that last? Ideally, I'd take partials off. We are 490, 500. We're just recuperating really what we lost on that last trade. Or not, and going back and getting stopped out. So obviously we're a bit unlucky. Getting a bit unlucky getting stopped. Come on. I think I'll just lock in. Recuperate some of that loss. Either way, there we go. Fuck you, NQ. Yeah. Get the transition. Ideally, if it wasn't on one contract, if it was on MQ, I'd have taken position off, break even, and I'd be letting this run. Being a sequence one with a bullish sequence one daily, I'd be letting it run. We're now back blue again. So we need to close this hour to confirm that transition. Where are we? So not quite even. So a bit down on that, bit down on the first trade. Obviously entered here, got stopped out here, and we've entered here. And got that bias that we were looking for. Yeah. So everything's bullish. Transition is confirming in 10 minutes. Back bullish again. Hourly, remember the daily. Where's our high probability high and low in the day? At the end of the hour, right? Let's look at those daily stats again. What have I done? Keep messing up this. Oh, I know why. I keep doing this. Keep doing it. It's return to open. Right. So here's our daily stats, right? Got 209 days. So if we're bullish, there's a 56% probability a high being in the last segment. There's a 27% probability it's in the last two segments. We still have both segments to go. No, sorry. High yet to come, 84%. On a sequence 1. This is why I wanted to I would have taken a partial and let it run. That's why I took the early trade. We had 66% probability our low was in. One of them. Could have waited, should have waited. We'll see what we get next hour. To be fair, that's alright. We have probability. 66%. I like above 70. There's our late signal. Oh, what's going on? Fast track trading? What's happened? Oh shit, what have I done? Minutes, that's why. Ooh. That was the car one, wasn't it? Never liked the look of them. A rug pull. Does it look like it's a rug pull? Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen the Trustpilot reviews? Let me see if I can... yeah. I think so. Let me see if I can... Whoop, wrong one. Think these look like fake reviews? Maybe. Haven't been paid a dime. Looks like a fake reviews to me. Another prop firm review. Another perfect. Do you think this is a fake account that gives reviews? I think so. I think you are a fake. Well, this is interesting. Sarah. Ponzi scheme, but you're giving it 5 stars. Maybe someone doesn't know. I think she doesn't know what 5 stars means. They're terrible. Terrible. 5 stars. Did it on M&Q. The average pullback line. Yeah. Could use Emma's stops as well. The obviously like higher probability if you're not gonna it's not gonna go to like the dotted line if you're bullish. Anyway. I think it's kind of like I haven't really. There's so many dodgy prop firms. I keep with the main ones really. Try and keep with Elite. Use Elite. Use them for years though. Apex. I've never used Top Step. I am going to. Yeah, nice buy signal. I really like this type of price action. This correctiveness while staying bullish. I like. Yeah, I like the 5-day. I was thinking about going with them. But if the Discord channels are gone, they've gone. See you later. Be interesting because it's the first. They're a futures firm, aren't they? Aren't they futures? Are they futures? Sure, they're futures, aren't they? Fast track. Yeah, first futures one to do a pull, right? I love them. I like that trade. See the VIB there? I like that. Pull back, hold the VIB, bang. I like that trade. See? Snipe. I like that trade. No. Hey, look, we're all prop firm traders as well. You know, it's interesting. It's important news, stuff to know. It's not good. I think it brings more doubt to the futures prop firms. Look at that. See how we come, we reject, we hold it. Of this big bullish move. Would have been a great trade. I like it. Right, 1 more minute. Put a high in at the end. Could have waited for that. Took my profit here. Yeah. It's been a very tiresome week. Not at top of my game. Confirm the transition. That's really important. Confirm the transition. That is what we want. Let's have a look at gold, ES. Great trade on ES. Obviously, if I'd have taken that one, ooh, would have been close. Got to put it on the low. Would have had 1R on the low. Just. But, yeah. That's the nicer trade. CL. Messy. Messy CL. What to say about that, YM? I was thinking, why is that not moving? It's in the Discord. It's a free indicator that I put together. So you can get it in an Impossible. I like Vibs. I might even get a t-shirt that says that. I like Vibs. See how they're great little entry, like snipe entries. Pull up above it, come back, hold it. But it's too, it's my, you know, like, the moment I start sort of going into these, like I'm in the mentorship, I'm teaching, like this is more teaching than like an indicator, which is what I wanted to create. So this is why it's just a free, you can get it, you can use it. It's not part of Max Algo, it's just part of something that I've done. Are you in the Discord, Fennel? Are you in the Discord? Are you one of us? Let me hunt for you. Bloody hell. Not so many indicators. There we go. There you go, bud. Fill your boots. When you set it up, just go into the settings. Obviously, I changed colours to red, and I just changed my fill transparency to 60. And then I'll go between 10 and 15, depending on the pair. Yeah. Just busies the chart. Busies the chart. Yeah, man. So the other week, I took an entry off a VIB on CL. When I was looking for that drop, we left one open. So you can see like here. If I was looking to get in here, I might just set my limit order. See how this one's left open, right? We get our buy signal. I'm bullish. We come up. Then that is where I might try and snipe an entry. Bing. Still stop at the low. You can use, obviously, I'll stop below there. And then, yeah. Yes, Jerry? So, we define the market into basically like 4 different types of price action. We've got bullish, bearish, and then corrective bullish and corrective bearish. Okay, so we've got our 4 different types. You can see here at the moment we are corrective bearish. Okay, we then have two higher time frame biases: bullish, bearish. So there are 8 different options, because obviously you can be bullish in a higher time frame bullish, and you can be bullish in a higher time frame bearish. Does that make sense? Okay. The sequence is how many previous candles or periods that you've selected that same price action has happened. So right now, here, you can see we're corrective bearish, right? So you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the sequence started here, and we've been corrective bearish, but not been able to, and now obviously we just start to potentially come out of it, and then we get that drop, right? But it's just telling to you that basically we are corrective bearish in the higher time frame. And what it's done is it's gone back on the hourly chart and found every other hourly candle that matched this sequence and said, okay, of the 58, how many closed bearish? Only 30, obviously 31% of them closed bearish. So the sequence number is just how many times you've seen of that prediction type. So if you're on an hour, 7 hours, a day, 7 days, etc. Now, if we've just transitioned, so we've confirmed the transition on NQ, right? We've transitioned. If we immediately flip back bearish, could be a whopper. But we're just expecting this to potentially be a bit of a pullback. Remember, our daily is, we can have one of those days where we just keep on going. So what I've done is I've filtered by this hour and this hour, and you can see that's changed the manipulation levels, and you can see we're right at the manipulation level now, right? So we've just come to our manipulation level. So if we're confident, we come back above these VIBs, potentially, you know, you could look, if we were confident to go long, we could have taken that here and press go. Higher time frame is just higher time frame. That is not defined by a specific time. It is just overall. This one, with the levels, Yeah, exactly, Jerry. This one, with the market, these levels, can these be changed? Is that your question on top, right? You see daily averages. Is this what you mean? Because that's the stats one. Yeah, so if I change it to daily, and then I need to go. No. What have I done? Yeah, that's right. Results table. What have I broken? Oh, I know why. I've got it set to only show me that hour. So there you go. You can see now these are daily levels. Right? These are our daily levels. So the same as Joshua's. I didn't know Joshua's indicator at the time. Obviously, I was just looking at what is a good statistic to calculate, and I calculated our mean move, 50% of the mean, and average pullback before a bullish candle or a bearish candle. That's what those are, right? And then obviously you can change this, bring up your mean moves, and it gives you your statistical probability of those being hit. I will add the statistical probability of those. They're about 30-35%. So we can see here if we're bearish, there's a 71% probability of price reaching that level. Right? So yes, they can be used. Was that what you meant on the top, Rock? Was that what you meant, bud? Did I get that right? That what you wanted to look at? Oh no. Right, I'm going to keep to more data. Yeah. Huh? This, that's a trade. Just trades. Sorry, I normally try and keep them off, not to confuse people. I'll let me just do that. My apologies. There you go. Sorry, mate. I like this trade. I'm going to see if we can push through. No, I'm out. Trying to play off those VIBs, see where we've held them. There's a difference of NQ. Sometimes we can do that. Same trade. 12-minute. Do that again. I'll use the low this time. This is not Max Algo trading. This is me trading. Sorry, I don't normally come on here and trade the sort of some of the things that I use with Max Algo, but that was a VIB trade, not a Max Algo trade. Obviously, we'd be looking for our signals to combine us with both statistical confirmation that I've got a high. Obviously, I'm using that I'm expecting price to be bullish. I'm expecting that right now there's a 61% probability our low's in, and I was just trying to catch a snipe entry before we confirm it. So it is early, you know. That's all. That is all. Ideal entry now be come up, taking this high, getting our signal. If we come and take the low, then we're expecting a bearish hour. So, you know, that's all. If we break down through those VIBs, don't want to see that. Don't want to see this logo. I think we've got an open VIB up here, haven't we? Yeah. So we've got one here. Let's go. Come on. Come on, go, go, go. Was there a statistical play on trading the open? Trading the daily open. Which New York Open or daily open? Oh yeah. So where's the previous day's low is going to be this low, isn't it? Haven't yet taken a previous day high or low. Fucking hell, what's this? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so there's the low there. Sorry, my apologies if I've got that wrong. Have I just missed all of that? Why did I muck that up? I'm an idiot. I don't understand what the hell happened then. There's our, that must be our low. Yeah. So we haven't taken a higher low yet towards daily open. Oh, you mean return to the open? I saw the return to open, didn't see that we hadn't taken the previous. Ah, okay, yeah, no worries. I tell you what would be interesting is where the previous day's high is. Let's see if I can get this right. Yeah, there's previous day's high. No, Andy. There's previous day's high. No. I think. CL starting to transition. Inside there, yeah. Ooh! Not getting the push I want. What time are we? 20 minutes? Do I go break even? $20 minutes. No. No, no. Wait. Alright. So if we are going to be bullish, if this is going to be a bullishly hour, then there's a 78% probability our low's in, right? Our open's up here for the hour. There's our open. I think I could just put that on there. Should have just put it there. Should have just put it there. But I just put my Vibs on. This is what's holding up price. If we break that, I don't want to break it. Should have just put it there. I think it's very, very high probability we go bullish, mate. We've had a win and a loss today, and I think just trying to protect a bit of the account, but realistically, it's a lot of wicks. We haven't yet had that movement. It's still early, 6:22. We've still got 86% of all kind of highs and lows to come if we're going to go bullish or bearish. But take the BE, risk off. Maybe it was a good idea. If I'd have gone there, I'd have been out anyway. So we haven't gone green. So we haven't gone blue. 15-second hasn't gone blue. 10 seconds still above the zero line, right? And this is the only reason thing I like is that look how we're holding that zero line. Like we are not going below, which just gives me confidence for more upside, right? daily being bullish, transition, daily sequence 1. Just about waiting really. So if we're going to get a signal, we'd need to take the high now. If we take the signal, then I'll go again. No more trading for me until it is fully confirmed. Yes. Weakening of the trend. We still haven't transitioned on ES. We're still in that weak trend. Any chance from Black Friday? Yeah, I should really run a Black Friday sale, shouldn't I? When is it? A couple of weeks away or something? What should we do for the Black Friday sale? They'll all run a Black Friday sale, right? I might get a top step account on the Black Friday sale. That's what I might do. Oh, but then I can't. Then I've got to have 2 screens again trading. Here's our move. I am a shithouse. I could get a t-shirt with that on as well. I'm a shithouse. I like Vibs and I'm a shithouse. Yo, hey Mohammed. Oh. We get a sell on gold. We are corrective bullish. That would be an entry on gold, right? That would be an entry on gold. If you're trading gold, that would be your lazy boy. Let me just double check to make sure it was at the point of the signal above 70% in the direction that we want. Yes. So signal, that candle, corrective bullish, meaning we're predicting bullish. Of the 493, only 1.8% closed bullish. Therefore, yes. I had no idea. It's just seeing people using it, but it's the same thing as this, just looks different, really. Obviously, I just did this when I was collecting the data. Like, well, it'd be nice to be able to know where the average move goes to and what the average pullback looks like, and then obviously we've just collected the same data. Just calling it something different. And there's a couple of tweaks, obviously, like Joshua's is more focused towards ICT sessions and things like that. But, you know, showed a good example on New York Open. Obviously, you can just filter by the 2 hours for New York Open, and that gives you your manipulation distribution levels. But obviously, you've got your percentages as well, right? So we know this level has got a 74% probability of being hit, as where this one's only 26%. So it gives you your high target kind of levels to aim for. And the distribution levels, the percentages will be coming for these as well. So your manipulation, it will show you when we had a bullish candle, what was the probability of actually reaching the manipulation. That will be coming. Hey, let's have a look at our gold trade. So we're in on gold. If that's what we would be doing, we'll be targeting a low and be looking at a 1-to-1. Probabilities in our favour. That's where we are now. Bear me a second, guys. Hello? Yeah, who's this? No, mate. I gotta go. Sorry, I thought it might have been one of the kids. It was a salesperson. How dare they interrupt me on YouTube? So rude. It's one of those days, and this is obviously when you get a sequence one, what I was talking about, like if that NQ can grind out price up and 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 up. When does that happen? Happens when you have strong bullish, higher time frame bullish sequences where the candle formation on those particular sequences do not have anywhere near as much pullbacks as other candles. Aye aye. Obviously we got done like a kipper, hit our target. We got in again, recuperated most of our losses, right? We took the trade off the VIB. Shouldn't have done that. That's my trading. I don't want to bring that to YouTube. I want to bring Max Algo. So we will be looking for a signal to give us a statistical edge as well. Which, just to give you a thumbs up, the trades you saw me taking last week with Max Algo, they are the trades where I have a very, very high win rate. Very high win rate. Very, very high success rate when everything's aligned. When you wait out for those right trades. And obviously your lazy boy setups, a very high win rate as well. Very high. See how gold's doing? Ooh, coming back on us. CL's in a inside day. Yeah. Yeah. Just the same thing. You can select the session time, right? So for example, if I just wanted to look at what the average was for this past hour, I can change it to, it's got to be an hour difference. I do 10. So next hour or 2 hours. Let's have a look. There you go. So based on this specific hour, and let's go up to 10 minutes. So you can see based on 160 out this hour, here's our distribution manipulation levels, high probability. Obviously we'll go down to 5 minutes, make it easier to see. There you go. And then we can then obviously change that, right? So we can do the last 2 hours. 2 hours. What's that done? That was not 2 hours. That's 2 days. Found a bug. Oh, I know why. Got our range on. Think. Yeah. Just works for the hourly. Here's our 2 hour. Anyway. Pick our nice NQ trade would have played out nice if it hadn't been a shit house. Statistically, that was our low. I'm just tired. Turning up to YouTube regardless of my condition. No sympathy, guys. No, don't need premium. Well, I think things can you have. It only limits lower time frame, doesn't it, on the free one? Does it limit 12 hours, does it? Or does it limit custom time frames? I thought it only limited lower time frames. Good question. Don't know. So obviously this hour we're a 77% probability of being bullish. The daily's bullish. Sequence 1, right? In line with the higher time frame. 96% probability for the day. I need to get some rest. It's been a lot. Been a lot. Kids, work. And then obviously we've had the busy 2 weeks, haven't we, launching Max Algo. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And I am very happy. Because I'm doing what I enjoy. I love building all this type of stuff. Love it. Yeah, man, I'll be on tomorrow. I'm going to be on... Is it Friday tomorrow? Friday tomorrow? Yeah, it's Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Friday tomorrow? Yeah, so I'll be on tomorrow. Yeah. It has been a long way. It's been a long journey. And do you know what's been the hardest part of it? Doing it as a dad. I think trading as a parent is one of the most challenging things you'll do with young kids. Because meditation and then a kid running around and stressing you out. The little monkeys. Yeah, so the Vibs have come from DR for me, right? They're one of the things that I still like, still love the Vibs. So we've obviously had our transition. Our daily is bullish. Our hourly is bullish, which is the bit that we were looking for, right? Like I said to you, Max Algo, the bit that we've done is it's not just about predictions, it's about the type of price that you get, right? So when everybody is trading the same probability, what they're not doing is classifying what type of market condition are we in. And when we're in a very strong market condition, we often see our lows at the bottom and our highs at the top. This will become part of the suite. You'll be able to see the profile of all the different types of candles. It will come. It will come. Including daily. And then you'll truly get a better understanding of how a daily candle forms based on what type of price action that we're predicting to get. Also around news as well. Because, like, for example, on NQ, what is it? What news is it? What news is it? want to say it's not PPE for God's sake, Andy. Let's have a look. I'll get it now. Stupid head. Brain's just not thinking. PMI. PMI. So on NQ, PMI can be very, very bullish days, and they can run. And it's like quite a consistent thing that'll happen. So like PMI for me is a good day for NQ. You can get some great days where it just fucking goes. Well, let's have a look at gold. Did you want to look at gold? Whoa, we're coming back in. Got 20 minutes. It's been a long old run for gold. We still have a 93%, a 94% if we are bearish, that we expect another low. Interesting. The low in gold there is in sequence 3, right? So if we're bullish, there's a 10%. Only 10% of the time did the low happen in segment 3, if we're bullish. If we're bearish, we get our high in segment 1. 48.73% of the times in a bearish market, that's our high. How many wins and losses on stream till today? I've had one last week. Had a great day. I think I was about four or five trades last week. 1 loss, 4 wins. I've had 2 losses on stream, and I think I'm about 7 up, 6 or 7 up. If we want to make it about me taking trades, though, then I will just showcase only the setups that I take, like my favourite ones, and nothing else. But this isn't just about me. This is Max Algo, right? This isn't trades by Andy or trades by Zoo. And there was that one tick wonder where it came. Fuck yeah! The retracement back to the high. Oh, fucking hell, that was good. Yeah, this is obviously it's not so much about me and my trading career. Obviously, this is a mixed channel. It is also obviously about me taking trades, and obviously I want to showcase some of that journey. We're going to go on some big journeys. We're going to go on some big prop firm runs, right? And we'll get into that. But while I am doing coding at night, kids and everything else, like, I'm not going to go on there and put myself under that pressure right now. We get our high on NQ. Would have been a nice trade, right? Took our execution here. Put our stop below. We had a 66% probability at the time. We transitioned. We were expecting. We came up. I went break even, got stopped out, and obviously we take the high. Yeah, I think I might do a Black Friday. But the only thing is that I don't want to. I'll then have to switch screens. That's why I've done it on TradingView, so that I can just do it on the same screen, and I'm not trying to flip between, because I hate focusing on getting an entry and then having to look at two different screens. I'd have to just simplify probably what I was doing and just not try and take VIB entries, probably just only take normal setups. What I'd like to showcase more on here was like that we can all, with the data and the setups, that we can be profitable, right? So that would have been nice. At 1.4 out. As a marketer, cut your YouTube streams to clip posts. Clip and post it on shorts and links available to your website. It will convert more, guys. Thank you for the advice. That's much appreciated, buddy. It's nice of you to share and give us some tips. Thank you. Gonna have to start clipping. You know, time's an issue. Do what we can where we can. What's Herman got? FaceTime only. Oh, hang on, that's the wrong one. Put that back. NQ. And NQ. Let's put it an NQ on there as well. Ah, Herman, it's because I don't use Saturday and Sunday. I don't want Sunday's hours interfering in my weekly days. That is why. I filter by day of the week and only use Monday to Friday. I don't use any of Sunday's data. I don't know if you're live watching me, buddy. Phew. Ah. Current probability. It's because you're using contract. Oh, hang on. Am I using the same contract? Is it the contract? You're using December? There's less data? Are you using... What are you using, Ham? What contract are you using? December's. That's why. Less data. $497 candles. Yeah. So on the algo one, don't use contracts. You want to get as much data as possible, right? So it's giving you the most, so over 497 candles rather than the. That's why we have it in a separate window, just so it gives us the high probability. So we grind out another high. No worries, buddy. I mean, let's just have, before I go, let's just have a look at the daily stats, right? So we've still got 83% probability for more highs if we are bullish. There's an 83% probability if we are bullish, which we're bullish, right? That our low is in. Our low for the day. Might be further down. It's way, way, way down. Motherfucker did me there, didn't it? So let's go up time frames. So if we're bullish, right? We've still got segment 6 to come. We're probably in segment 5. So you can see that our bullish distribution is still, we've still got time for that bullish distribution on the daily. So, I mean, it's vertical, but then it's a sequence 1, right? It's a payday setup on the daily. We have got the higher time frame bullish. The sequence has just gone to sequence 1. Potentially, boom, right? We just didn't quite get the hour in. It took longer for the hour to come around. But yeah, that's why I took that trade before, because we were expecting that thing it's just been very grindy in that we're just ticking away. We're all good, you know. Got unlucky with that low getting taken. Second trade came out, but a chain. Shouldn't have pussied out here. We'd have had our target and we'd have had another one. And yeah, I got a BE here. Got a break even here. Obviously that one would have played out as well. Okay, so we're coming down in gold, right? So 52 minutes. So what we'd be looking to do is could have got out of the trade at that point, break even, but really, you know, if you want to keep it hard and fast, 59-minute candle, we go break even regardless. But yeah, absolutely, obviously, probability is below 50% now that we continue down. Yeah. You'll find that a lot of the time, if it doesn't play out like these where it just goes, that it'll still give you that opportunity to get risk off and get out on your lazy boy setups. And obviously, just to remind you, lazy boy on the basic level is you're looking for your signal to match a high probability. Cool. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go, Mohammed. Obviously, if you've got the indicator, you can go on the 4-hour and look at all the details, buddy. But other than that, guys, go on. Go on, then. Twisting my arm. There you go. So there's our low and high of the 4 hour. I mean, obviously, I think the election, as everyone said, is making a difference. That prices are just going up anyway. So I think, like, I won't really worry about the kind of corrective side. But what I would see is that more the data matching and playing out. That if we take this high, that we can expect the 4 hour, the next 2 hours of the 4 hour to be potentially putting in our high, right? So if we go up to 15 minutes and just lower our data. We can see in the last 2 segments gives you a good probability, and we still have 80% of highs yet to come for bullish. So the lows are in and are up 71% and 70%, right? So when we take the high, that'll give us really high confidence that the low's in, and there's still more time. And obviously in those last segments, 35% in the last 6 segment on the 4 hour. But I'm interested to see whether we take this low. If we take this low, then we could see that start to retrace. It is choppy, so it could just chop to the target. But so annoyed at myself for going break even. I even went to do it and stopped myself. And then when did it? Whew. Never mind. Right, guys. Obviously, we've looked through it. We've gone through some of the predictions. We've looked at the daily. You know what we expect on the daily. A very bullish day. We still expect on the daily that we have more highs to come. 75%. Hold tight. Keep watching those hourlies. See if we can get some setups. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. If anyone's about, I'll be live. Other than that, guys, have a nice evening. Take care of yourselves.